Yeah, so I was starting the show.
All right, hello everybody. This is Santiago,
Thanks,
and you're here with Chuck and Santiago show, and we have Dave here with us again.
Can you hear me?
Nope.
Yeah, we can hear
Okay.
you.
All right.
You're on the radio. Sorry about that. This is Chuck and Santiago show, and we're here with Dave, myself, Chuck, and yeah, Chuck had some of the Philosopher's Blend before the show, and so he was, yeah, he's a little giggly, and I think you'll notice the timbre of his voice, and he's a little embarrassed. Anyway, no one really knows what I'm talking about, right, Chuck?
Yeah.
He's giving me a look, and the other thing I'd like to point out is that he's you know, he's a little selfish. He knew I was going to be here, and he brought a beer for himself, but he didn't bring one for anybody else, which is a little bit, there's a little bit of a consternation to that.
It was actually just because, to tell the truth, I just needed something like water, because if I hadn't have brought something to drink, my mouth would have been intolerably dry because of the blend or whatever you called it.
That's your excuse.
Yeah, so I was only thinking about myself, and I wasn't even thinking about drinking the beer. I was just thinking about making sure that my mouth wasn't incredibly super dry. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thanks anyway.
Saab has appeared for stage right with English in hand. I'm turning all red. It's the radio. So. Anyway, we have an exciting show here. Dave has programmed the show to as much as he could. Chuck has brought a synthesizer. He's trying to set it up with the speaker. All right, Chuck, you should be live with that if you want to give it a couple. If you want to fiddle around with it a little bit.
Line out, man. My little mini plug out. Is this right here?
Yeah. So yeah, I worked on a couple of tracks. Dave, we did some stuff last week, and sort of organized it, and I'm gonna go ahead and
second auxiliary. Is
I'm
that
gonna
second auxiliary?
and take it away. Hold on.
Thing up. Can you?
Well, let's just turn Chuck's mic off. I think. I think we'll do that. Just, you know, because he seems to be, trying to do stuff at the same time as I'm trying to do stuff. Yeah, it's funny, you know, because we've told him time and time again to not, you know, the show. He wants to be present for the show. You know, you want to be fully engaged. You want to be aware of your surroundings. You want to be just basically on point. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is about that. I mean, I guess all of us, we're our own worst demons. Anyway, what can you do?
He was on the couch. My elbow on his throat. No, he was on the couch. Usually the fight would end with my elbow on his throat. No. And like going like. Wait. One time we got a huge fight. He was on the couch when he was on hurt. He was like, hack it. Yeah, he was on the couch and he was like, "Please, go get me something to drink." Yes, he did. He was like, "You're right." He was ordering me around the house. So you know what I did? I chilled. I didn't get offended. Wait. Wait, no. You didn't see him after? He was ordering me around the house, right? So what I did, I played it totally cool. I went in and I got a picture about this size. Check it out. I got it filled with it was orange juice actually, and he was sitting on that couch, all cocky like, and I came and I held it right over his head, so like the orange juice was balancing right on the edge of the thing. He's like, "You're not gonna do it. You're not gonna do it." We sat there for like 5 minutes like that with that thing teetering. Why? How's that sound relaxed? I did it. It was all on me. I eventually covered David's ketchup and turned off all the water in the house so he couldn't take a shower. I eventually covered you in ketchup and eggs, turned off all the water in the house. I covered you in a bunch of stuff too. Don't think you wanted. I covered you in I went when I took a shower, when I went upstairs to take a shower, I said, "You can go next." And then I turned off the water in the house. Because he knew where the water was. If I had known where the water was, I would have turned it off. I know the things like where the water turned off now there. And then I just let it sit there and dry on you. Yeah. I did.
I did actually.
I never do a bong I get regret all of them snake anyway. Most of them are nuts. I've eaten bong
I do.
It did taste a little.
Nothing.
How does it taste?
Nothing.
Just like stronger?
This week, I think I'm going to take a ride up to
More like blonde.
the Wisconsin-Illinois border going towards Beloit because they have a beautiful nature preserve up along that way. Walk around.
Doesn't.
Well, if you drive from here like you're going towards St. Louis,
Oh, man.
it's about 45 minutes away. It's a beautiful spread. You can hike around.
No wonder you don't get laid. It's not gross at all. If you want to get some head, you better get going down on that muffin, baby. What do you think?
Me, I don't know, walk around for a couple hours maybe.
No, it's not true. I don't think it has anything to do with being here or not. It's more about...
No, it's just like a, I don't know, like a wooded area.
How do you get a shower?
Up there by the
That's why
Wisconsin
showers,
border.
you had a better experience with a woman with a stinky. Like, you can't get it out. You can't get it out.
I'd like to live in the Old West. I was just listening to the theme from Rawhide.
Wonderful.
I really would have made a good cowboy.
It's rare. It's rare. Right. It's not...
Well,
most of it...
Santiago, to tell you the truth, I don't care much for this modern world that we live in. We
like the music in the
have too much information and,
yeah, Blonde Mary is different.
as a what?
What about Redhead?
What's that?
It was so young that I didn't touch it.
I just don't care much for it. We live in a world now that's controlled by machines. I think man was much better off back in the frontier days before the machines. There's always been some kind of machine in the history of man, but now it's gotten to be pretty much out of control. You know, I mean, there's always been a machine somewhere functioning, but whether it was a train or a boat,
That's why you're here with us. And
now we're kind of, I don't like this age we're living in.
For your party, put this in the show. Remember that $30 you owe me? I'm in a terrible way, man.
It is.
Why?
But I think I would have done pretty good.
75 degrees.
I could have handled the mud, sleeping outside. I like hot weather. I don't even have an air conditioner. I did real good in the hot weather that we had for the past 2 weeks.
It's like you do it your whole
No,
life.
but I'd have to learn how to ride one.
There you go. Minus shot. I'm just going to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Okay. Enjoy yourself.
Got Chuck sort of stumbling around. He's trying to get his water synthesizer on. He thinks I'm trying to every time
The paparazzi comes on your face. And then that's just like dong, dong, dong. It's like juggling. And Dave, I don't think you can do it either. Do what? Talk. You're good at talking. At one point I say, hey, well, talk. Say something. And the thing you say to me is, you ask me about my trip. Because the show, that's not talking. That's asking somebody to talk. No, because the music is playing too much. You can't have all that. You gotta be a little tougher. Yeah, you gotta be a little tougher. It's supposed to be so dynamic. We could just structure it differently. I could turn that into a national hit. No, I wouldn't even do that. I would have a beer sheet. Oh yeah, good idea. That's a terrible idea. You gotta put your money where your mouth is. If you want, like you got a war scene, I got bull. You got babies crying, I got babies crying. Yeah. So you got dogs barking, to be creative too. Saying, you know, do your thing. I'm not saying that actually. I'm saying that he's not going to do it. I think he's
I know one thing. Can you hear me, Santiago?
a lot of people.
I know one thing I wanted to mention was I'm really getting sick of noise. And two things that have really irritated me lately are motorcycles. People riding motorcycles so loud and obnoxious that if I were a cop, I'd ticket them immediately for just revving up the way they do. And the other thing...
It's going to be cool. People are going to learn things. What is it in Latin? This show is going to be great. Because you're going to be talking about why you don't need to marry. I'm going to have the interesting guest. Lisa Mahan wants to get on there. Lisa Mahan wants to be on our show. Mayhem, like mayhem. It's not mayhem, like mayhem. Mayhem. That would be the peak. If your name is Lisa Mayhem. About what? About being on the show Sunday night. Yeah, I'll call and change your name to Mayhem.
I think that you should
ask her if she'll change her name to Lisa Mayhem.
Yeah.
Point if you're going to do it.
Give yourself more time.
You just be a character like or not. It starts to look off into space. Like that idea doesn't interest me. You know what? He's not protective of his show. Oh, yeah. I Paul figured it.
Can you hear me now, Santiago? Well, I was saying that one of the things that really irritated me this weekend was the jet show down at the lake. The noise was just phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Yeah, okay. That wasn't a Muppet, no. Muppet.
The noise was just phenomenal. Just phenomenal.
I was a 3D cartoon.
Chuck sometimes doesn't realize that he gives instructions, everybody can hear. So he'll say, talk into that mic, plug this cord in. It's funny because, you know, I'm all for I'm all for it.
Yeah, people would
it's just that I think that
no, they wouldn't. No, only if you called it a Muppet and they would. Of course, that's what I'm saying. So you would call it your puppet that looks like
he's raising his eyebrows.
It'd be all right.
Chuck is looking at you. You gotta talk into the mic, Chuck.
In like 4 hours. We're still hanging out.
But that's not,
Or maybe sooner.
Yeah, and you get really aggressive too. You get really aggressive, you lose your cool. What was it the other day? You lost your cool on the tennis court, you threatened the guy on the tennis court. You turned into a class act.
where?
He actually screamed, "Shut up." He like screamed, "Shut up" at me really loud and in my face. So then, yeah, I ended up getting really, I totally lost my cool. And we talked about the fact that that's a sign of weakness, and I believe that to be right. So true. But yeah, so like you're just sitting here trying to like make fun of me, like get me in like a position to like try to be manipulative or something.
No, I'm just trying to wind you up a little bit.
No, you're like just trying to be like all manipulative.
Well, you know, I am the engineer.
Your mic's not on.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I think there's something about the chords
No,
here.
your mic is on. You need to turn it up a little bit. Yeah.
Just like that.
There you go.
That's wonderful. Well, I'd like to play a couple of the other tracks.
Weirdest thing, not knowing. Could have been any of them.
Someone should do the disclaimer. I always want to do the disclaimer. Hey, I'm willing to let bygones be bygones and try and move on to like a different
One of the guys in there, remember I told you just
place now.
want to get in the wheel.
Yeah, you're like looking at me with this really interesting blank stare, kind of.
To work.
1,000 miles.
It takes 2 hours to walk to work. And just how long?
Yeah, so that's what's going on.
I think so,
That's what's going on. So don't accuse me of like.
I
Don't
don't
accuse
even
me
allow
of
it.
getting all amped
If I
up.
had a heart attack.
I was just like, if we're still hanging out in 4 hours, man, we'll probably.
He'll be in bed in 4 hours.
Yeah, but anyway, it's
No doubt. Yeah.
So what you're hearing is my friend Oz.
No.
This is a good show. This is like a real show.
You have talking to the mic. Yeah, we got to
This is a
share
good
that
show.
one mic.
This is a good show. I think this is a really good show.
They're always good. You always say that, and it always kind of irritates me because
yeah,
it's happening as it happens.
This is a real
It's as if
show
you say it to
and
confirm
real.
it, and by saying it, it makes it so. And I'm not so certain about that. I don't know. Or at least it's a little bit as if you're patting yourself on the back. We're not finished. We just started.
It's actually just a joke.
Is it
Like
just my
one
imagination?
level further.
It's a joke.
Kind of. Yeah, no, the shows are. You know, it's funny because like I actually I noticed in this person the fact that when he hits a really great tennis shot, and this is true, he says like really quickly, "Oh, that was a great shot," and when I tell him like, "Why don't you just pause like and wait 10 seconds, and someone else is going to say, 'Hey, that was a great shot.'" It's Kirk, but who actually was on the first show? Was Kirk on the first show? Was that the second show? Kirk was the first show. Yeah. This is Kirk. Yeah. So, but hey, I don't think I'm doing that. I think it's more. I think it's more of a. I'm performing that line when I say it.
You're performing that line?
Yeah. that it's good.
You got to share the mic with Dave.
Oh yeah, here, Dave.
Yeah, Dave keeps putting his hands in his face and.
Yeah. So one interesting thing that's going on is you know, I've noticed that Milwaukee is you know, I don't know.
What do you mean?
Well, Milwaukee is just, there's just no jobs in Milwaukee.
I build my wig up close to the water's edge, silent and still, blue lake and rocky shore. I was a beaver close to the water's edge, silent and still.
That was a Miles Dare again from Santiago.
Yeah, I just think that
was a Miles Dare. Now they're getting comical.
With silver, follow the wild goose like dip, dip, swing, dip and swing your back, flashing with silver, follow.
It doesn't seem to work.
That's the problem.
Right, so next time you'll be a little bit more prepared.
There's a kind of a beautiful sadness in the fact that we're not.
I don't think there's any. I don't know. I'm not really impressed. I think it's a little bit.
I think that there actually is kind of a beautiful sadness.
I think it's just a little lame.
In it.
Actually.
In it.
I just think it's a little lame. But Did you make any?
You're saying it's like lame that I smoked or whatever?
No, I think it's lame that you show up a little bit late with gear and you don't know how it's going to be working and you don't know how to set it up.
But actually, I've just been preoccupied with like your passive aggressive attacks from the moment I've been around you.
I don't think I'm being really passive about it. I think I think I'm
well,
actually pretty upset because make an effort. And I think it's fine. I think you're trying to make an effort as well. I just think you kind of fell short this time. But we'll let it slide. And
it's a fantastic show.
Yeah, and again with you saying that as if by saying that it'll bring it into meaning.
It's a tiny bit raw. It's like a tiny bit raw. Can't you tell? You're giving me 1,000-mile stares. I'm suggesting that we fight in 4 hours. It's getting kind of raw. People like that. But
So this is a track I worked on earlier today, and I'm just gonna share it with you guys here.
you know, we always end up test them, you know, we always end up lots of 120s and 10s, you know, we always end up with them. I'm going to, you need something.
So, Dave, you had some things that you wanted to mention.
Can you hear me? Am I, okay.
You can hear yourself, so I can hear you, and everybody can hear you.
Okay, so well, I just want to mention that tomorrow night, Teresa Columbus will be in town to do a play. What's it called, Chuck? The Pleasure Machine or something? The Pleasure Club. The Pleasure Club Cruise. We're not quite sure of the location right now, but if you're interested in Teresa Columbus, who was a Milwaukee artist at one point and is now living in the Baltimore, Maryland area, will be in town tomorrow night to do a play, The Pleasure Cruise Tour. And I also wanted to mention that if you're interested in a history of unusual magazines, I'd recommend the books Bad Mags, Volume 1 and Volume 2, which cover a great deal of unusual magazines over the years.
What kind of magazines? Bondage?
No, he doesn't get too much into that. But he does do a little bit of that, but just a lot of unusual a lot of mainstream magazines that you would never believe had been issued, but were actually issued. Like, my favorite one is something called Violent World, which came out in the 70s and was a magazine that showcased different acts of violence around the world. It's quite interesting. So,
is it a fanzine or was a regular?
Well, these are all regular magazines that you could buy.
What was the print? When was it in print?
Violent World came out in '77. It only lasted 5 issues, but they were quite interesting indeed.
Huh. And it gives you examples of those issues on there.
Yeah, he talks all about it. I'd recommend these books, Bad Mags, Volume 1 and 2 by Tom Brinkman. He also covers a lot of underground mags that were popular in the 60s and 70s. Underground, everything from fetish to rock and roll. So.
And what kind of fetish?
Oh, he does the a lot of the leather type things that were popular in the 50s and 60s. Pretty innocuous, you know, nothing real serious, but definitely fetish type stuff.
Huh. Well, we also have a disclaimer that we're going to read eventually, but not right now. The print is way too small and I'm entirely too far away. There was a little bit of, well, there's some people playing down the street there. They were playing a banjo, and that's what we're listening to in the background here. They're going to go uncredited unless they show up to the radio station. They were kind of giving me these looks as I was, riffing around on the corner and wondering, what's this guy doing? And this is what I was doing, trying to get you on our radio show. What else, Dave? What else is going on?
What else is going on? Well, I'm getting ready to go back to work in 2 weeks, and I'm not happy about that. I'd kind of like to now.
School year starts.
Yeah, school year starts in 2 weeks. I'm trying to think of something interesting that I could mention here to the folks that.
Well, you asked for a leave of absence, but
I haven't gotten that yet. I don't think I'm going to be getting that. I might have to take my own leave of absence, I've decided.
Yeah.
Just calling sick a lot. You know, I might have to take my own leave of absence for a while.
Calling sick a lot. Yeah, because you're at wit's end with that gig.
Yeah, I'm pretty much at wit's end. I've been doing this 10 years, and I'm just done. Too many complicated reasons to discuss on the air, but suffice to say that I'm pretty much at the end of the rope on this career.
And what do you any thoughts on the vice presidential nominee?
Oh yeah, it was a young guy. Who was it that he nominated?
Paul Ryan.
Paul Ryan. He's very young, isn't he?
Yeah, he's our age.
Yeah, he
dresses a little better.
Yeah, but not much better considering his position.
So tomorrow night we are talking about Teresa, and it's tomorrow night at the Polish Falcon at 8.
Where is the Polish Falcon now, Chuck?
It's Clark and what's the street? Is it Clark and Bremen? I think it's Clark and Bremen. Yeah, the main intersection of River West. That's not actually true at all, because it's not at all there. It's over on Clark and Bremen. which is it's around the corner from the food co-op. You got to talk into the microphone. Is how this thing works, Chad.
It has the food co-op and Polish Falcons. It's like the main intersection or something. Besides the video store and fuel over here,
which is 5 blocks away.
How both are the main intersections.
It's all groovy, man.
Yeah.
So I have another track that I worked on that it's got Chuck singing on, and I think I'm going to play that without further delay.
Really? I'm going to do a disclaimer.
Are you going to do the disclaimer? Go ahead, do the disclaimer.
It's going to be Dave's a great name.
Welcome to the Santiago and Chuck Show. My name is Chuck.
It's really brilliant.
And I am the producer of this show.
He's got his glasses on. He's got his face 5 inches.
Things I'm reading it upside down, so it's getting hard now. The things you will hear over the next 20 20 minutes and the previous 35 minutes or whatever of the Chuck and Santiago show represent the views of the show, of the Santiago and Chuck show, and the people making them. All opinions and quotations in no way represent River West Radio and are the sole responsibility of the producer, guests, and callers. River West Radio is not liable for any legal issues arising from the content of this program.
That was excellent. That was quite excellent. I like that.
Thanks so much, Nana.
I enjoyed that. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
You know, I just, what exactly was, how was I going to put it? I got busted for pissing in somebody's backyard.
That's a big deal.
You know,
what were you doing? Whose backyard?
Well, it was a friend of mine. I didn't get busted by the police, but I had to go to the bathroom really bad, so I just thought I'd go behind.
We got that comes without saying.
I thought I'd go to the bathroom behind a bush in the yard.
Yeah.
And they were just shocked that I would do that.
Yeah, I was shocked too. Why didn't you go in the sink?
I don't know. I piss in Chuck's yard all the time.
It's not a good habit.
But Chuck's yard is okay to piss in because
it's not your yard.
Chuck's yard. Who are those people?
I don't know who those people are.
Boy, was she pretty though, huh?
She's it's classic. Of course the speaker is on as they walk by outside. Yeah, of course. There's a speaker right there. So yeah, there's so why did you do that? You couldn't use the bathroom? Like
I like going to the bathroom outside.
You like to just let it fly in the wind. Huh?
Yeah, I just there's something very natural about it.
Yeah.
Just go behind a tree.
It starts to smell a little funky though.
Well, no, but if you go behind a tree, you know, or bush or something.
It's all right if you go behind. It's all right if you go behind the bush.
I'm talking about number one here, you know. I mean, just take a leak. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I just piss.
It still smells.
Not really. I mean, last week I pissed in that yard right across the street while I was waiting for you over here. I mean, you know.
You're some kind of cat. Where else have you taken?
I'm trying to think now. Some good ones. Oh, here's a good one for you. This is wait. You're gonna like this one. This is good. This happened in France. When I was in France. Well, let me just tell you this story though. When I was in France, I had to go to the bathroom really bad, so I took a leak behind this tree. I thought nobody would see me, but there was this old lady. I looked up. She was sitting on a bench watching me with like a disgusting look on her face, and I just like made a really weird look on my face and kept on going.
It is disgusting.
You know?
So on that note, Dave has a segment that we're going to do tonight, and it's favorite still existing shopping centers, and it's going to go with...
No, I canceled that one. I canceled that segment. Yeah, I canceled it.
No, Dave's going to tell us about Dredska.
I canceled that part.
It's a store in Milwaukee. It's the last. It's the last of its kind.
It's a store in Milwaukee called Dredska.
Yeah, no, Dredska.
No, it's one of the last true department stores in Milwaukee. It's in Cudahy on Packard Avenue. It's called Dredska's Department Store of Cudahy. And it's a throwback to like an old-fashioned department store. It's got all kinds of interesting toys and hats and something to look for if you're ever up that way.
We're in Cudahy.
Right on Packard Avenue. Right when you get into Cudahy. Right at the start of Packard Avenue.
And what kind of things do they sell there?
Well, I just looked in the window, but a lot of like toys and hats and unusual kind of stuff.
What do you mean by unusual stuff?
Chuck, his mic is fine.
That's better than like the psycho.
Why didn't you tell it to everybody? Tell the people out there in radio.
That was the look you just gave me was better than the like psycho I'm gonna shoot you look from before. Yeah.
But I think
you gotta try and stay away from those looks. You know, you gotta try to avoid like getting those looks.
I can't help it. I just seem to admit them.
See, now you're becoming a little bit self-conscious of doing it, and it's getting harder for you to do it. So this is where it's entering.
Dave wants you to get this mic. Peace.
It's always great when people come by the window here and
flash you the peace sign.
Flash the peace sign. Speaking of that, would you have liked to have lived during the late '60s and have been a hippie?
Not at all.
Me neither.
But I will tell you this. I actually have a really great fantasy, which is I think about time travel, and I think the best thing about time travel would be that you could go see these concerts. These you could go see Jimi Hendrix playing somewhere. You could go see Bob Dylan. I imagine being outside at some of these venues, waiting for the show to start. I mean, that would be really something.
It would have been kind of cool. I kind of liked some of the peace-loving music, but I wouldn't have made a good hippie.
But your hair is long.
That's true. Oh, thanks for reminding me. I'm getting a haircut this week, but yeah.
Think nothing of it.
I just don't think I would have. I would have liked to have lived Santiago about 150 years ago.
Yeah, we were talking about this, and I was really wondering why.
Times were simpler. It was just you could just wander around and build a log cabin and have a good time.
I think this is just bullshit. It's a tremendous amount of bullshit.
I mean, times were easier, though. Don't you think times were easier?
Not at all.
Oh, sure they were.
No, it wasn't easy at all.
They didn't have nearly as much leisure time back then.
Well, they did, actually, in a sense, but they just used it differently. There was no TV. So...
That would just turn your TV off.
Well, have you noticed something, though? The greatest philosophers and writers the world has known came out of a time before the modern age began.
But none of them, I mean, very few I would imagine from the wide open West. I mean, not that where achievements weren't made.
Yeah, I don't know. I just
clutching that mic. You got your right hand on your mic, and your left hand is actually on the seat.
Things to make even like better. World's never had. You gotta talk to the mic. I'm thinking I'm gonna say it from the distance.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way. You have to talk into the mic.
I said that one from a distance, but yeah. So.
What did you say from a distance, Chuck? You got to talk into the mic.
I said that the world has never had more people who are actively committed to enhancing life. Like there's never been this huge gathering of people who are like truly committed to like using their life in a creative way or whatever. In a creative way to like somehow make society better. That and the philosophies that people are coming up with now are the ones for 500 years from now that they're going to be studying.
Actually, let me just correct you a bit here. Many of the philosophies that we use now have been around for thousands of years. And it'll just be the same philosophies they'll be using. Plato, Voltaire, Hume, Kant.
The classics are not disappearing.
And then our German friend Goethe. You want to hear an interesting story about Goethe? Let me just tell you something really quick.
Go ahead, yeah.
I read once a strange account that he wrote where, this is something that he wrote where he said he was walking down a dirt road and he saw somebody approaching him on horseback. Keep in mind that this was during the horse days. And when the man on the horse rode by him, Goethe looked at him and realized that it was himself 20 years or so earlier as a younger man. The article appeared, or this statement by Goethe appeared in an article that was talking about, is it possible for wormholes or time doors to exist where we pass through different dimensions and all that? Goethe claimed that he actually saw himself as a young man riding on a horse when he was an older man. Is it true? I don't know, but it's an interesting tale.
I was in Turlingen recently where Goethe was, his publisher was there. Turlingen is it's a town in Germany, and it's the seat of an important university there. And you know, we've been talking about this the last time you were here about Holderlin, and you read these wonderful poems on the air. I don't know if you remember that.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, and so so there's I mentioned it last week. There was a sign outside one of these buildings that said Goethe vomited here. His publisher and him were hanging out, and I guess they drank a little too much. And so yeah, as well as seeing himself 20 years earlier on the road, he also vomited after drinking.
He was definitely an interesting character.
Yeah. You don't drink, so you don't have that experience.
No, but if I drink on rare occasions, and I drink at home, and I drink Jack Daniels, and I try and do about 10 shots worth, so I just get puking drunk.
That's a John Thorogood song.
And then George Thorogood, when I drink alone, with my buddies Blackie and Red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's that song.
Yeah. And
all by yourself.
Right, exactly.
Nobody else. Why don't you share the mic with Chuck there?
Okay.
You have him a little isolated.
I'm good. I'm actually good. I think probably.
You're good.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
I was enjoying the show. I didn't. Are we about to go negative again here? What's going on?
No. I'm just wondering what you mean by being good.
Yeah, I'm listening to the show. You guys are talking about Goethe.
Yeah, and only Germans know how to say his name properly.
Go ahead.
I'm not German.
I did go to the Open Flame restaurant last night, one of my favorites, and had their beef liver.
I'm gonna just turn this off. I'm gonna turn the microphone off. You had liver at a restaurant?
Is the mic still on?
It's still on, yeah. I want to hear about Dave's liver. I was just joking.
No, I'm a big fan of liver. It's one of my favorite dishes. I try not to eat too much
of
of
it. With onion?
Onion and bacon.
A lot of iron.
It's gotten a bad rep over the years because it.
Where's this restaurant?
Oh, Hales Corners, out in Hales Corners on Highway 100 in Hales.
Travel to eat, man.
Yeah, but the thing is, hey, there goes Doug. Hey, it's interesting because me and Chuck ran into Doug the other night down in the 3rd Ward, and Doug actually showed me some things about the 3rd Ward I was not familiar with before, like the lake walk that you can walk all the way down, and he also knows a lot about the different.
Talk about every building.
He knows all about the buildings in the 3rd Ward. It's amazing. You're sitting there talking to the guy. He'll point out 3 different stores and tell you the history of those buildings. It was pretty interesting. It was pretty interesting that he could just tell you the history of these buildings. I found it interesting.
What kind of things do you tell you about the buildings?
Well, like, you know, who had been in them and why their businesses weren't there anymore. I don't remember each story, but it was amazing how much knowledge he had about a given city block. So now he's here.
And so, what does that have to do with your liver? You lost me.
Oh, no, I was trying to tell you that liver, I think, is a really good food for you, but it's gotten a bad rep over the years because one of the things behind it is they say it contains a lot of chemical and pesticides because it is the liver, and everything gets washed down into the liver. The other thing is that it's high in cholesterol, but I have high cholesterol anyway, so everything's high in cholesterol to me.
So you ate the liver. So what else came with the liver?
Let's see, vegetables and French fries and soup.
Vegetables.
Oh, it was really good, sautéed vegetables.
You go out to these restaurants by yourself?
Yeah, who else do I go with? He doesn't want to go. I try and get Chuck to go, but he doesn't like to go a lot of the time.
Yeah, it's all the way out in Hill's Corner.
It's a 15-minute ride. It's the worst part is getting from here to the freeway, and then it's just 10 minutes.
I can't afford to eat out like 3 times a week or 5 times a week or however many times you eat out.
I only do that during the summer. I'll be eating at home again once I start going back to work.
Do you make liver at home?
I don't know how to make anything.
Really?
Really?
Not anything?
Sandwich. I can make a sandwich. I can make eggs. I could get some mock chicken legs and cook them up in the oven.
What's a mock chicken leg?
Oh, they're great. You never had mock chicken legs?
No, I never.
Oh, man.
Is it like mock duck?
Kind of like mock duck, exactly. And now Doug's here. It's amazing.
It's not that amazing. It's not like the Virgin Mary appearing. You know, because he lives in Milwaukee and you see him around.
It is. What if it was?
But it's not at all. People can't hear you.
We got 3 minutes left. So yeah, should we like recap the show?
I think we gotta recap the show.
Huh. Yeah, we never have recap. We talked about previous shows. You know, so probably maybe we'll have a show next week. Probably.
What about next week?
I don't know. I think I'm gonna. I'm hopefully gonna take the recorder up to teaching drum in the next 3 weeks, probably.
Yeah,
See if Makwa wants to be on the show.
I'd like you to go up there more often. That'd be really great.
And you should go up there. You should go up there. You can go visit him. It's $40 a day.
No, I'm not gonna go.
You should.
that.
Yeah, you might like it. You can do some interviews. You can like have them Google you, and then they'll know that it's okay.
Dave, you want to sign us off? Thank everybody for listening.
Thank you everybody for listening. This has been the Chuck and Santiago Show with a guest appearance by Dave. We'll see you next Sunday night for another action-packed show. In the meantime, take care and bear.
Silent and still, blue lake and rocky shore. I was a beaver, close to the water's edge. Silent and still, blue lake and rocky shore. I will return once more from the flashing with silver. Follow the wild goose like dip, dip, swing, dip and swing left back. Flashing with silver. Follow the wild goose like dip, dip, swing, dip and swing left back, flashing.